Yes, so hi everyone and a warm welcome to our lecture number 3 for CFNL IDT. Now we are covering the chapter of supply. Yesterday we had talked about certain aspects with respect to section number 7. Every class will start with a brief revision of whatever we did yesterday. So section number 7 we talked about 71A, 71AA, 71B and 71C. 71A, that is subsection 1 clause number A, talks about the three parameters of supply, that it should be good services, it should be involving consideration which can be there or it can be agreed to be made, and third it should involve business. Yes, these were the three parameters of supply. Goods we have already revised, services we have already revised day before yesterday, right? What is the meaning of consideration? Consideration means you pay me in money or otherwise. So money or otherwise payment, or you do something for me or you don't do something for me, and you means the recipient or any other person, I don't care. Sir, recipient ka what was the meaning of the word recipient? Recipient means the person liable to pay the consideration if the consideration is involved. If consideration is not involved, then the person who is getting the goods, to whom the goods are delivered or to whom the services are rendered. That was the simple meaning of the word recipient. Yes, definitions are clear. Business we had already defined. It is a very wide word, includes all kind of trade, commerce, business, public authority functions of the government, race club, admission, every possible thing you can cover in relation to the profession, trade, business is covered in the definition. It is a very wide word. It's a very wide definition and it is an inclusive definition. Okay, so this was section 7, subsection 1, clause number A. Double A was in the backdrop of a case law, that is State of West Bengal versus Calcutta Club Limited, in which basically it was held that due to the doctrine of mutuality, a club and its members are one person only. And for the supply to happen, inherently there is a fourth parameter as well, that there should be a supplier and there should be a recipient. And due to that case law, the government inserted this clause number A and said that for the purpose of supply, the club and its member, how the club has been stated, a person other than individual. So that club and the member will be deemed to be two separate persons. They will be deemed to be two separate persons, and whatever transaction happens between them, so club to members or members to the club, members are also known as constituents, that is going to be a supply. They will be termed to be two different people, two different persons. So that was clarified, and this is notwithstanding any other order, any other judgment, any other decree, any other law in force. Is this clear? And obviously consideration needs to be there. Then we talked about 7(1)(b). If it is an import of service and consideration is involved, then business test is irrelevant. In general, sir, we check the business condition from the supplier point of view. But in import of services, the focus is on the recipient because he is the person in India. Yes, okay. 7(1)(c) gives the reference to schedule number 1, that is the deemed supply. That also we talked about it yesterday. 7(1)(a) and 7(2). 7(1)(a) is basically the clarification of whether it will be considered to be a supply of goods or supply of services. And section 7 subsection 2 is the negative list. Negative list means schedule number 3 plus there can be circular or notification as well. The power is given for circular. I have not mentioned explicitly, does isn't required basically, but yes, circular is also covered here and notification is also covered here. So government has the power to prescribe non-supplies via circular or notification as well, that I will be covering today. Then we talked about schedule number 1, that is supply without consideration. 4 paragraphs are covered. Paragraph number 1 is the permanent transfer of a business asset on which the ITC has been availed. I am transferring it to whom? I don't care. The focus is that ITC should have been taken. Sir, what if ITC is blocked? Then ITC is not taken. So when I say that ITC is not availed, it can be voluntarily not availed or by law it is not available. I don't care. The point is that ITC should not be availed. Paragraph number 2, there was a relationship between the supplier and recipient. The relationship can be of a related person or it can be of a distinct person as well. It can be between related person or it can be between distinct person. So any supply of goods or services, both are covered here. Between these kind of people, provided it is in the course or furtherance of business, is going to be a supply. Sir, we had defined the list of related persons. I hope you remember this list. Means application point of view, things should click when we talk about related person. Section number 15, we had borrowed this, that suppose they are officers, directors of one another's businesses. They are partners in a business, so there can be legally recognized partners in a firm or maybe a JV partner. They are employer or employee. One of them is holding minimum 25% voting stock in both of them. So these two will be related to each other. Or maybe one of them is controlling the other person. Now what is control? Not defined under law. Control can be anything. Control can come via voting as well. Sir, voting, it should be more than 50%. In general, the voting should be more than 50% in order to constitute it as a control. Or it can come by policy making decisions, or it can come by, for example, deciding the composition of board of directors. It can be anything. Next, both of them are controlled by a third person, or together they control third person. So, sir, what if it is a case? There was a query that a student asked in the morning batch that, sir, what if A company is controlling B company and it is also controlling C company? Then in this case, B and C are related to each other. A and B will also be related to each other. If we analyze this clause, one of them controls the other, and then A and C will also be related to each other. That is okay. We will apply the conditions and we will check which two companies are falling under the related person clause. So you can analyze in any manner whatsoever, provided one of the clauses is applicable from this section number 15 explanation. Is this clear? Yes. Then they can be the members of the same family. What do you mean by family, sir? Spouse, children. Spouse, children. Dependent, independent, does not matter. My parents, grandparents, brother, sister. My parents, grandparents, brother, sister. You remember, right? So spouse, children, parents, grandparents, brother, sister, only if wholly or mainly dependent on me. Sir, what about my spouse, parents? No, sir, they are not covered. They are not a part of the family. And then sole agent, sole distributor, sole concessionaire, basically the sole person acting for my on my behalf, they are also considered to be your related person. Okay, then we talked about distinct persons, section 25.4 and 25.5. 25.4 means each and every unit is registered. One state, more than one state, I don't care. 25 subsection 5, one unit is registered, other unit is in some other state. So 25.4, one state or more than one state, either way it's fine. 25 subsection 5, more than one state necessarily needs to be there. And here it will be termed as establishment of distinct person. Sir, what if I have more than one unit in one state? And if I go for a single registration, then my dear, the other unit will be known as APOB. Guys, hello, understand. If in Maharashtra I have two units, one in Mumbai and one in Pune, and I have taken a single registration, this is not a case of 25.5. 25.5 will require the other unit in some other state. Here, if it is a single registration, your one address will be principal place of business. Your other address will be additional place of business. It has to be declared as such in your certificate of registration. I will be showing you the certificate of registration in chapter number 8. But understand this, it will be declared as an additional place of business. So if in single state, I have taken a single registration in one state, it is not a case of 25.4. It is not a case of 25 subsection 5. Is it clear? Then we talked about paragraph number 3, that is a simple invoice test. It is applicable only in respect of goods. Invoice test is basically the question that the further invoice is going to be issued in whose name? Is it going to be issued in the agent's name? It means it is a supply which is invoked between the agent and the customer. It is a supply which is invoked between the agent and the customer. Then in that case, it will be a supply, deemed supply between the principal and agent as well, because ultimately we need to invoke the liability of the principal. We need to generate the liability of the principal. But if the invoice is issued in the name of the principal, then in that case the invoice test has failed. Then you will not make a deemed supply between the principal and agent. Why? Because already one supply is there. You will not generate the liability twice for the principal. Already one supply is there, then you should not generate this liability second time. So here the paragraph number 3 will fail, invoice test has failed. So legally we say that this transaction will not fall under the ambit of paragraph number 3, schedule number 1. I hope this is absolutely clear. Is this okay? Then we had covered a small interlink between paragraph number 4. What was paragraph number 4, sir? Paragraph number 4 was import of services without consideration. It will be a supply if two conditions are satisfied. Condition number 1, you are importing from a related person or establishment, own establishment outside India. And condition number 2, it should be for own business. If I'm importing for personal purposes and I'm doing it for free, government says, okay, we don't want it to be a supply. It's your personal matter. You are doing it for, you are getting it for free. We don't want it to be a supply. And sir, if the consideration is there, then your schedule number 1, paragraph number 4 is not going to apply. Structured thinking. Then in that case, your consideration is there. You will apply section 7(1)(b). Then business test is irrelevant as we covered in 7(1)(b). The further part, right now you won't be able to handle this. This will help you when you revise things. When you revise things. Yes, it is just like sole agent. Pasupuleti, sole concessionaire, he's kind of working for me. He's my agent. He's a distributor. He is working for my business and he's the only one working for my business. In my business, there is only one person, only one agent. That is the meaning of sole agent. In his business, he might be working for 5 other people, but those 4 are different people. For me, I'm working only with one person. That is a sole agent. Is this clear? Did you do this example that I told you as a homework? Have you done this example as homework? Tell me. Okay, you have done. Okay. Okay, let's see. I will also cover the examples very, very quickly. Then I have made 2, 3 small examples apart from this as well. ASA Associates received legal consultancy services from head office located in Singapore. Services have been rendered free of cost. Now you know how the structured thinking flows, right? If it is a free of cost, if it is a free of cost means there is no consideration, your mind will go to schedule number 1 because parameter of consideration is missing. So our mind will go to schedule number 1, paragraph number 4. 2 conditions apply. Is it from your own establishment related person? And is it for the purpose of business? So the Nirmala Tai says that if it is your own person, that is why the consideration is not there. It's not a third commercial party, it's your own establishment. That's why they have not charged the consideration. And plus it is related to your business. This is your commercial transaction. Then why shouldn't we charge GST? Just because consideration is missing. It is your own establishment, it's your same company. Hence it is a supply. It is going to be a supply. Let's take another example. Babbu is a proprietor in Pune. He availed architect services from his daughter who is based in US with respect to his new home in Pune. So Babbu is making a new home. His daughter said that, father, please don't get the architecture plans from somewhere else. I will design it for you. Entire life you have worked for betterment of our life. Now I will make the plan for you and I will make very good plan for our new home in Pune. Is it a free of cost? Yes. Is it a free of cost? Yes. So we will apply paragraph number 4, schedule number 1. 2 conditions. Is it a related person? Yes, daughter is a related person. But is it for business? No. Nirmala Tai says okay. In Hindi we say ghar ki baat. It's a matter of your home. It's a personal matter, not related to your business. Okay, then we will not charge GST. Fine. Go away. It's fine. If you charge consideration, then 7(1)(b) will apply. Means if you are treating it commercially, if you are treating yourself commercially, then why the hell should we leave GST from it? Logic, right? Government says that if you are treating it commercially, then we will also treat it as a supply. 7(1)(b) business test will fail. But it's your personal matter, not charging consideration, not related to business. We don't want GST, not a supply. Not a supply. And if it is in relation to your office, means it's your commercial, right? It's your commercial. So just because the consideration was not there, we will not leave it from supply. Had you obtained this from someone else who is not your daughter or not your family, they would have, they would have charged you. So here we will make it a supply. See, somewhere or other, I know you will be able to apply the conditions, but apart from the conditions, you should understand why. You should understand why we are making it a supply or why we are not making it a supply. So that feel factor will come when you analyze it from a logical standpoint that okay, it is your personal matter, no consideration, it is okay, not a supply. But if it's a commercial matter related to your business, then we will ignore that consideration was not there. 2 conditions are satisfied, it will be a supply. Because had you taken this from someone else, he would have charged you consideration. So here we will not leave it from supply. Everyone tell me. Conditions are clear and apart from that, feel factor is clear. Because longer retention will be only when you understand the logic. So are you able to understand the logic as well that why we are making it a supply or why we are not making it a supply? Everyone? Okay. Now, 2 small examples, 2 small notings I have made in your notes. Please pay attention, everyone. Schedule number 1, paragraph number 1. Let's say BB sir purchased a car on which ITC is blocked. BB sir purchased a car for which ITC is blocked. Now, where is it written that ITC is blocked? It is given in chapter number 7, but you might be knowing it from CA Inter that section number 17.5 on car the ITC is blocked. And suppose BB sir gifted it to AK hai bhai sahab sir. Akash sir, BB sir gifted that car to Akash sir. Now tell me, will schedule number 1, paragraph number 1 apply here? Answer is no. Why? Because ITC was not taken. Now ITC was not taken means ITC was blocked. Okay, does not matter if ITC was blocked or I did not avail it voluntarily. The point is that ITC was not taken. Schedule number 1, paragraph number 1 will not apply. Sir, a CA provided services for free to a school. Let's say I provided certain chartered accountancy services to the school from where I passed out my education, my class 12th. Will this be covered under schedule number 1, paragraph number 1? No, because these are services. These are not business assets. Schedule number 1, para 1 applies for goods. Fine, clear. A chartered accountant purchased a laptop for office, took the ITC, but later on gave away to a school for free. Here paragraph number 1 will apply. Yes, absolutely will apply. Now, I'm giving you certain extra knowledge. That I will be covering in chapter number 7, okay? A capital item. Although business asset includes inputs as well and the capital items as well. But I'm telling you that a capital item under GST has a life of 5 years. So suppose I tell you that there is a certain capital item which I purchased. So it was capitalized in my books. And suppose it was purchased 6 years back. So 6 years back means today in the eyes of GST law, this is not a business asset. It has expired. It has been completely depreciated. Fine. This is just an understanding because you might have this query that, okay, sir, we remember something about 5 years. Not a very big analysis involved here. Just that after 5 years, it will have no implication in my GST. Because we are assuming that it is depreciated, it is gone. Choo. Tata, bye-bye. Okay. Yes. Now, can I proceed now to the further part? Till now, it was a revision. I took 17 minutes today. But it's fine. Absolutely fine. No worries. Because we are understanding everything properly. We don't want to rush through anything. Now let's move to a DCA analysis. Now what is DCA analysis, sir? Because this is one part which is left from the paragraph number 3. This is one part from paragraph number 3, schedule number 1, where we talked about the invoice test. Now what is a DCA, sir? Now what is a DCA? DCA is a Dell Trader Agent. DCA is a Dell Trader Agent. So this is the full form. What is the meaning, sir? DCA means an agent with guarantee of payment. Agent with a guarantee of payment to principal. So suppose the buyer defaults in paying the amount to the principal. Suppose the buyer defaults in paying the amount to the principal. The DCA will say that Mr. Principal, don't worry. I will ensure the payment is made. I will give the loan to the buyer and from him obviously the amount will come to you. So you are secured that way. Sir, so DCA commission is generally higher. There is no analysis on the commission. Commission is a service, be it a normal agent or a DCA agent. There is no analysis, no question on the commission, that is a service. We are talking about the invoice test. We are talking about the interest treatment in this particular discussion. Let me take you forward. Give me some time. So let's take an example. Who are these people? AK Bhai Sahab, Shubham sir, and our BB sir. So let's take a short example. Suppose AK sir is the principal. He is the seller. Suppose SK sir is the buyer. And suppose BB sir is a DCA. So BB sir said to Akash sir that don't worry. If Shubham sir is busy in the classes and suppose Shubham sir is traveling and he forgot to pay you, I will pay you. If he defaults, I will pay you. So basically I will pay you means it will be considered as a loan to SK sir. BB sir will not pay on his behalf na for free. It will be considered as a loan and that amount will come to you. So you be rest assured that your payment will be there. Your payment will not go, basically your payment will be there. You will be paid your amount for your supply of goods. And that is how BB sir will be known as a DCA, because BB sir comes with a guarantee of payment. Now, my question is, he is the principal, he is the buyer, and he is the DCA. My question number one is, will DCA, or should I say, will the transaction between principal and DCA fall under the ambit of paragraph number 3, schedule number 1? Will transaction between the principal and DCA fall under the ambit of paragraph number 3, schedule number 1? Here there is no new analysis. Apply the same invoice test. No new analysis, we have already covered. Apply the invoice test as it is. So there is no analysis because it is a DCA. No, apply the same invoice test as we have already covered it. So check whether the invoice is issued in the BB sir's name or directly by the principal's name. This we already know. No new analysis. Is it done? Now, question number 2 comes. That if buyer defaults, then it will be a loan. It will be considered, the amount has to be paid. Eva, not paragraph number 1, paragraph number 3. If buyer defaults, the amount has to be paid by BB sir to AK sir. So it will be considered as a loan by DCA to buyer. It has to be considered as a loan by DCA to buyer. Obviously, BB sir will not pay it from his own pocket, right? It will be considered as a loan. Ultimately, has to be recovered from the buyer. Now comes the question that what about the interest on loan? What about interest on loan? This is the analysis now we will do. This is something we have to understand in a new manner. Sir, why did not we cover this in the normal agent case? Because the normal agent is not going to advance any kind of a loan. If he comes with a guarantee of payment and a loan, that person is known as a DCA, that is a Del Creditor agent. Now forget what the clarification was given by the department. Let's understand from a field factor point of view. In step number 1, suppose we say that invoice test is not passed. Invoice test is not passed. Case number 2, you assume that invoice test is passed. Sir, what does it mean that invoice test has not passed? Means the supply is given by principal to the buyer. The invoice is issued directly by the principal to the buyer. And here BB sir has given a loan to the buyer for payment to the principal. The BB sir has given loan to the buyer for payment to the principal. Now my analysis is, on this interest there is a certain interest component that will be charged. No one lends any amount for free. So BB sir charge interest from SK sir. Now my only question to you people, my only question for you guys is whether this interest will be analyzed separately. Will it be considered as an independent supply, or do you think it should be added in the analysis of this supply? Do you think this should be added in the valuation of this supply by the principal to the SK sir? What does your intuition say? What does your heart say? What does your feel factor say? Do we keep it independent, or do we add into the valuation of supply by the principal to the buyer? Independent supply, but obvious. Sir, why would you add it in the valuation of supply? Those two are different people. He is a different person. This is a separate supply. It is an independent supply, sir. It is an independent supply. Analyze it separately, sir. Why are you adding this? He is a different person. He is a different person. No relationship between these two. Now extending it, I'm telling you in chapter number 4, I will tell you this again, that interest income with respect to loans are exempt from GST. This is just for your understanding, I'm telling you. Right now, the analysis is that this is independent, okay. But beyond that, I'm telling you that interest with respect to loan is ultimately exempt from GST. It is exempt from GST. Tell me, is this absolutely clear? Or give me 1 minute, I will cover the other part as well. Then you confirm me. That, sir, what if the invoice test is passed? It means in the eyes of law, this is supply number 1 because invoice test has passed. So this is supply number 1 and this is supply number 2 because invoice has been issued in the name of BB sir, that is the DCA. So this is also another supply because invoice test has passed. And now BB sir has given loan to the buyer. Now BB sir has again given loan to the buyer because buyer has defaulted. Sir, if buyer does not default, then my dear, why will we talk about the interest on loan if buyer does not default? This entire analysis will be only when the buyer defaults, right? So now if I say in this case the loan has been given and now there is some interest which is charged on loan. Now tell me one thing. Do you feel still your answer will be that treat this interest independently, or the feel factor says that this interest can be added? Maybe it can be added to the part of supply by BB sir to buyer because this is a supply which is happening. In the last case, there was no supply. But here there is a supply by the DCA to the buyer. Now, do you think you can keep this independent from this supply? I'm not talking about this supply. This is a separate supply. I'm talking about supply by DCA to buyer, and the same DCA has given a loan to the buyer. Absolutely correct. In this case, interest will be added to the valuation. It will be added to the valuation by, that is the value of supply. I should write it, value of supply by DCA to the buyer. Because now if you see in ideal situation, it is still a interest on loan, but the same person has supplied the goods as well. So the department says that somewhere or other, this interest becomes part of the consideration for the supply. Because supply is happening, goods have been sold against which the payment is going to happen and the same person is paying interest as well. So department clarified. In real life, there was some confusion. In real life, because of the subjectivity, some people said, no, it is still an interest on loan. But department, that's why came with a clarification. These are the clarification that I'm studying. But before understanding from a law point of view, we tried to see whether our feel factor is making our answers easier, and it did. You are everyone saying that, no sir, now you should add it as a part of valuation. And plus, I will give this a legal backing. In legal backing, there is a section you can just refer right now because we are yet to cover that. There is a section 15 subsection 2 clause number D. What is this 15 subsection 2 clause number D? This is valuation, which specifically provides that if any interest is applicable, any form of interest where supply is also there, it has to be added in the part of valuation. So I am giving you the legal backing as well. I'm telling you this is a part of department clarification as well, and we covered it from the feel factor point of view as well. Now tell me, is this absolutely clear? The same thing I have mentioned in the book as well in a little different format. If someone wants to study this structurally, you can pay attention. I'm again covering it, that if DCA is not an agent under paragraph number 3, that is invoice test has passed. No sir, invoice test has not passed. So in this case, there are 3 activities involved. Principal to recipient supply is happening. Agency services by DCA, that is a normal commission. There is no analysis there. It's a normal commission. And loan which is given by BB sir to SK sir. So here that loan will be considered as an independent supply on P2P basis, means two different people are dealing in it. It's an independent supply. So this interest will not form part of the value of the supply of goods. And extra, I told you that in chapter number 4, I'm also going to be exempting the interest. Ultimately in chapter number 4, this will be exempt. That is something extra that I have told you. But if invoice test is passed, now how many activities are involved in this particular case? Now there are 4 activities which are involved, not 3. What is the one additional activity? Principal to agent and agent to buyer. Instead of one direct supply, there are 2 supplies. Hence, one activity has been increased. So now the loan service is not merely an independent supply, but it is subsumed, means it is included in the supply of goods by DCA to buyer, and also legal backing. It will be included in the value of supply. Section 15(2)(d). Vamsi, if added to the value of supply, will the interest on loan is exempted? No, Vamsi. If it becomes a part of the value is going to be taxed. If it would have been treated independently, it would have enjoyed the exemption. Sir, real life subjectivity was there. Yes, it was there. That's why a department clarification came. They clarified the issues. That with respect to applicability of paragraph number 3, the invoice test we have already covered. No separate analysis. But what about interest? 2 situations are possible with respect to DCA. Clear? Okay. A small point, free samples and gifts, there is no consideration. Hence it is not a supply. If I'm giving something away for free, it is not a supply unless in some manner schedule number 1 applies. But if schedule 1 does not apply, it is not a supply. And sometimes there are transactions of buy one get one free. So sometimes you go to a mall and you see the offer as buy 2 get 2 free. So is it kind of a basically, are you buying 2 items and you're getting 2 items for free? No. It is just 4 items at a price of 2. It's a normal supply. All the parameters are supplied. All the parameters are complied. Okay. It's a normal supply. Now what this I have written that treat as composite or mix, that I will cover later. It is yet to be done. So this is my section number 7, which is completed very properly. All the paragraphs are completed. All the related definitions we are done. This is your foundation section. Along with schedule number 1 we are done. Now I will be moving to schedule number 2, that is whether the supply will be considered as goods or services. There is no analysis whether it is a supply or not. Please don't get confused. There is no analysis here whether it is a supply or not. That analysis you do in schedule number 1 and that analysis you do in section number 7. If it passes the definition of supply, whether it will be a supply of goods or services, that schedule 2 will come and clarify. Now the first page is a very simple one. If you don't do it, if I don't cover this and you go in the exam, you will still not commit a mistake. It's a very simple one. Let's understand logically. Page number 2, there are certain small points that we need to make a note of. Let's quickly cover, guys. Transfer. So transfer of title in goods means I'm selling the goods. So it is a supply of goods. No analysis. Very simple, plain vanilla. No analysis. It's very simple. Transfer in right. Transfer of right in the goods or undivided share means basically the right in the goods without transfer of title. So I am giving a machine for use to Vamsi, but I am not transferring the title. Ownership is with me. So that means you are giving it on rent. You are giving it for temporary use. So it is a supply of service. Now, is there any big analysis involved here? No, sir. It's a very logical thing. Hire purchase agreement means the title will transfer in future. The title will transfer, but in future date upon payment of full consideration. So GST says that okay, hire purchase, whatever the small agreement that you are doing about the consideration, we don't care. What we focus is whether title is being transferred or not. So yes, it is being transferred. So if you are transferring the title tomorrow, it's fine. But what is the nature? It is goods. because you are selling it. Now, how do you do it? One time transfer consideration, you do higher purchase, you make it EMI and loan installments, we don't care about it. Or is it a sale return? Sale or return means you have a right to return. That's a separate thing. But today I'm transferring the title. So it is a supply of goods. Very simple one, na yaar. Even if I don't tell you this, you are going to make this a supply of goods. Land building, rent, lease, everything is service. When I rent a flat or a rent my building, will I tell this as goods? No, sir, it is a service. Now, these are technical terms: lease, tenancy, easement, license. These are just the form of supply. These are different forms of supply. But it is a supply of what? It is a supply of service. Letting out building, leasing, commercial complex, residential complex, anything. Or business, commerce, even if it is for residential purposes, does not matter, it is service. This I will be covering in detail in chapter number 16, but I will tell you right now, job work process. What is a job work process? You are doing some process on goods belonging to other. So if Prajit is doing some treatment on or process on goods belonging to me, I pass this bottle to Prajit and I ask Prajit to make this logo on it, or maybe whatever it is, something, some work on it. He is doing a service. I'm not selling the goods, he's not selling the goods, he's doing a service. So it's a service. Transfer of business assets. Again, very logical. Goods forming part of business assets are transferred or disposed of upon directions of the person carrying on the business. I give a direction that my assets are to be disposed of. Sir, how come it is a supply? That can be due to section 7 or schedule number 1. I don't care. Right now, the focus is goods or service. So understand what is the purpose of every schedule. This is just clarifying that it is going to be a supply of goods. I'm not transferring it permanently. I'm temporarily making available to someone else. I will take it back. So goods held or used for business are put to private use or made available to someone for use of any purpose other than business, whatever it may be. Point is that I'm not selling it. Temporary use. Under my directions, who is carrying on the business? It is service. So don't get entangled here. Focus here. Because every transaction we have to analyze whether it is a supply or not by schedule number 1 or the definition of section number 7 supply. But this is something which schedule 2 is clarifying. Goods forming part of assets of any business carried on by any person who is seizing. Seizing means he is no more a taxable person. So my liability to GST registration has gone. My sales has decreased. So he shall be deemed to be supplied. The goods shall be deemed to be supplied by him in the course or furtherance of his business immediately before he ceases to be a taxable person. Now guys, understand this. I'm a taxable person because my sales were exceeding the turnover limit. Tomorrow my business has reduced. I'm not making more than 5 lakh rupees sales every year. I cease to be a taxable person. I want to exit the GST registration. So that time the government assumes, deems means assumes. The government assumes that all your assets are supplied by you. Sir, why? Because you're exiting the GST now. Sir, is it written somewhere? Yes. We are going to be talking about this in section number 29, cancellation of registration. So at that time, it is assumed that your all the assets are supplied. So basically, this is the final, we say na hisab kitab in Hindi. It's the final calculations you are making with the government before saying Tata bye-bye to GST. That is considered as a deemed supply. You are not selling it in reality, but you are considered, you are deemed to be selling it. then that will be considered as goods or services. Sir, obviously goods. Why is there a need to tell this? This is just clarifications, more of a clarificatory in nature. It is goods. Now there are two exceptions. Now people sometimes misunderstand that when I say exception, sometimes students say, oh, so exception to being treated as goods? No, no, no. Exception to be treated as deemed supply. That it will not be considered to be deemed supply if the business is transferred as going concern to another person. So my business is there. I am ceasing to be a taxable person, but I am transferring this going concern business to, let's say, Prajit. So at that time when I am ceasing to be a taxable person, it will not be considered to be deemed supply. Why? Because Prajit will sell the goods and he will pay the taxes on my business. So there is no loss of government. This is something which I have told you extra, that when the business is transferred, it is exempt from GST. I will cover this in chapter number 4. So why are you making it a supply today? It will not be a supply. Okay, it is an exception. It will not be a deemed supply. The other person will carry on the business. He will sell the assets in due course and he will pay the share of GST. So this is today exempt from GST. Or the business is carried on by the personal representative who is deemed to be a taxable person. So I am ceasing to be a taxable person, but my personal representative is going to carry on the business. So I am exiting the taxable person, but he is becoming a taxable person. He is becoming a taxable person. So he will pay the GST now on the whatever the assets are carried on in the business. Why are you today taking it? You are considering as a deemed supply from my side. Why are you considering it as a deemed supply from my side? Let him carry on the business. Nirmala Tai, you will get the GST on its due course. He will continue my business. Logically clear, everyone. Page number 1, logically clear. You do not have to do this ever. Even if you completely skip this and read it once at home, this page will be sorted. There is nothing here to be learned. So logical. But I cannot skip it. I don't skip anything. Hence I've covered this still by the basic analysis. Please confirm. Everything is clear till this point. Do I have your blessing to move ahead? Okay, clear. So can I move? Yes. I always ask every 2-3 pages. You might feel that, sir, why are you asking again and again? Every 2-3 pages I generally ask. Okay. Now, paragraph number 5, very important. Very, very important. Please pay attention. Renting, again, they are repeating. We know renting of property is services. Construction. Now here our analysis has to come. Now tell me one thing. Has any one of you or maybe someone in your family or relative or known or friends, you must have purchased some kind of a property, a flat or something. A flat or something. Archana sir, why this deemed supply is not covered under schedule number 1? Archana, it could have been covered. It could have been covered, but this is a very specific case of registration cancellation. So it has been given in 29.5. Not a very mainstream applicability in day-to-day business. Schedule 1, all the 4 paragraphs are very much applicable repetitively in any business. Could have been given just the way how they have legislated, Archana. Okay? Now pay attention. Construction. 29.5, we will be considering this. There also they have not given this explicitly, it is a deemed supply. They have asked us to calculate as if it is a deemed supply. So the inherent link is with the concept of cancellation of registration. It's not a very big concept. It's a one-time calculation you have to do. That's why they have mentioned it here. But the purpose of mentioning in schedule number 2 is that you have to consider it as goods, not services. Can I proceed, Archana? Okay. Construction. Now, as I was saying that you must have purchased a flat, a property. So there are two things which can happen. Whenever we buy a property, there are two things which can happen. Let's say I want to buy a property for myself, and there is a site here, there is a building here, which is a completed one. It is a completed building, okay? There are two flats in every floor, and it's a completed project. It's a completed project. Let's say I go and buy a property. This is case number A. On the other hand, there is a under construction project going on in Pune. So let's show it as two floors are constructed. Further, they have inserted that rods that go. Okay, there is a crane which is operating. Similar, these kind of cranes are there, na? So it's an under construction. People are working. Labor is there. So it's an under construction project. And I go and I buy a under construction property, under construction flat. This is my case number B. Forget what the law says. Tell me from the field factor that in which case number A or case number B, do you think the GST will be applicable? Where do you think it should be a supply? Where do you think the taxability should arise? Where do you think the taxability should arise? Just understand, you are saying that something is becoming a supply. The correct answer is case number 2. This will not be a supply. Sir, how come it is not a supply? Tell me, is it a goods? Is it a movable property? Can flat be moved? No. And is it a service? No, sir. No one is doing anything. The work is already done. Case number 2, the builder is still working for you. He's constructing floor for you, and you have already bought the property. You have bought the property. You have already exercised your right. And now the builder is working for you. It's an under construction property. In that case, the GST is applicable. So this under construction analysis will come only when you are buying it from a builder. Obviously, second hand sales. Construction is completed and you are buying it from an existing buyer. That will obviously always be a completed property. It will always be outside the scope of GST. But when the property is still being built, the builder is still working upon it. That time the analysis comes that whether it is an under construction or is it a completed property. And sir, how do we define a completed project? This is a very wide word, no? What is the condition to say that I am buying a completed project? I will mention it here. Pay attention. If 100% consideration is received after earlier of 2 dates. What dates? Issuance of completion certificate wherever required. So generally in all the metro cities and all the cities today in India, the completion certificate is mandated. That is given by the municipal authority. The engineer comes, he inspects, he gives the completion certificate, then you get the occupancy certificate. So either that completion certificate or maybe after the first occupation. First occupation means someone has started living in that society, that building. It means it is a completed one. You cannot go and stay in a under construction property. The buyer will not give you the possession rights. So if earlier of this, so let's say for example the completion certificate is happening is being received on 10th of June, and the first occupation is after that, let's say 15th of June, and I am buying property after 10th of June, the earlier date. And buying the property means 100% consideration should be after. Even if I give rupee 1 advance for booking my flat, it will fall outside this scope and it will be chargeable under GST. If you comply with this condition that 100% of the amount is received after this earlier of the two dates, it means you are buying a completed property, and that, my dear, is covered under schedule number 3. It is not a supply. Sir, we are studying schedule number 2, no? Yes, but I have picked this from schedule number 3 to link it with the construction. And if this condition is not satisfied, the GST will be applicable, and that construction, be it addition, alteration, replacement of any complex building, civil structure, anything, is considered as a service. So the normal construction, we will analyze it like this, or let's say you just get some renovation done. That is a normal service, that is, but obvious, no need to state it separately. Sir, can you show us an example in real life? Absolutely. So a couple of years back, my cousin had bought a property, and this is a agreement, the basic, the sheet that the builder shared, that if you see, this was an under construction flat, and in the under construction flat, the agreement cost was 1 crore 9 lakh, and there is a GST of 5%. Now we are not talking about the rates of GST. There are 1% and 5%, but rates are not a part of our course. But remember, the next time someone is buying an under construction flat, 5% GST will be applicable on this particular agreement value. Is this clear? A lot of times you may have seen the builder writes no GST. So either that is a completed property, and if it's an under construction property, you should know as a chartered accountant and as a CA final IDT student of mine, you should know this with complete clarity, that if it is an under construction property and still the buyer says no GST, it means he's not charging GST from you, but he's going to pay it by grossing up the amount, and he has to pay it to the government. Done? So the building construction we have analyzed. Apart from that, normal renovations are services that we know. And if I'm buying a second-hand property means already an existing society, I'm buying a property, that is obviously not a construction, that's a non-supply basically. So land, building are non-supplies. If you analyze the land and building, the field factor says that they are neither movable property nor services. But legal analysis, schedule number 3 applies, non-supplies. EVA generally no, but legally, in the condition they have stated this, practically without completion certificate, occupation won't happen. But sometimes builders, they give soft possession, those kind of things they have considered. In real life, before completion certificate, you won't have the occupancy certificate. They won't give you the occupancy rights. So in real life, this is going to happen first. But I have stated this as required by the law. Clear? IPR rights, royalties with respect to copyrights, with respect to trademarks. If I'm transferring the copyright and I'm allowing, let's say it happens in music industry, someone has a copyright over a song, they allow it to use it, and someone other, let's say, for example, the Bollywood songs are copyrighted. So if you want to play that song in any commercial manner, you have to pay a copyright fee to the person who are holding the licenses. So what is that? You are taking service. So any temporary transfer or permanent use, permitting the use or enjoyment of any IPR means IPR rights. It can be trademark, it can be copyright. All those are covered under GST as a supply of service. Don't get confused by the word temporary. Generally, these things happen in a temporary manner only, that you are allowed to use it. In that context, they have used the word temporary. That okay, you use it for 1 month, you pay us the royalty, you pay us the license fee. So that is considered as a supply of services. Software. Any activity with respect to software, designing, development, customize, upgrade, enhancement. So I am getting, let's say we got built our this application on which you are seeing the classes. So what was it? It was a supply of service by the vendor to BB Virtuals. And if you remember, software was, software was one of the examples where earlier double tax was happening. So that was clarified in today GST, that don't consider it as a goods plus service. It is a simple case of service itself. It is a simple case of service itself. Don't make it goods and service. This was one of the problem which was happening in earlier law, that we have clarified by providing in schedule number 2. Para 5e, hold. We will understand this mostly tomorrow with certain analysis. There is some analysis I have to do here. Transferring the right to use any goods for any purpose. Same. I'm not transferring the title, only the right to use. And 2, composite supplies. Composite means it involves goods plus services. So just like software, there was a restaurant service which was suffering double taxation. Again, we clarified that it is a service only. Inherently, it involves supply of goods. Inherently, it involves supply of food items. But no, it is considered as a service only. But obvious, except alcoholic liquor for human consumption, no need to say that. It is a non-GST supply. And sir, what do you mean by works contract? Understand it in a brief manner right now, because this also has to become as a separate analysis for us. Works contract means someone is, let's say, giving me the service of a contractor. I'm getting a new building constructed and the contractor is giving me the service of goods plus services. He's selling me the cement, the TV which he's installing, the AC. So the goods are also involved and he's giving me the service of getting it constructed as well. So that is known as a works contract service. It is always in relation to immovable property. Works contract is always in relation to immovable property. But technically it involves goods plus services. To avoid double taxation, to avoid any confusion, we clarified it to be a service. This analysis will come again in chapter of ITC. Brief understanding I have given you right now. Now tell me, is this page also clear, everyone? Except para 5e. Except para 5e. I'm giving you just 30 seconds. Quickly read these particular items. Para 5 and para 6. Quickly. This pause is not to be wasted. Please read. Lingu, a construction contract is kind of a works contract only. And both are services. But what happens when a builder is building a property? He's not entering into a contract to make the building for you. He is making the building on his own part of business. You are just going and buying a flat that he is building as per his specifications. But when I get a building constructed as per my specifications and I'm giving a contract to a contractor known as a thekedar, he is giving me a works contract service. Minor difference, but what is the difference in the substance, how the contract is entered? The builder is not acting for me. He's building as per his own plans and project. I'm just buying a property there. Hope this is clear. Okay, can I move everyone? Clear. Okay. Now, I would like to move to schedule number 3. I would like to move to schedule number 3. Now, there are non-supplies under GST for which I have given you the reference of what? Section number 7, subsection 2, which says that non-supplies can be via 3 things. Schedule number 3 or a circular or notification. Your question number 1 should come that, sir, why the government has retained the power of circular or notification? Why not provide it in schedule number 3 itself? The reason is very simple. Sometimes the non-supply benefit is to be given on case-to-case basis depending on what is the situation. In order to provide in schedule number 3, we will have to go for the amendment of the act. So government retained the power of providing via circular or notification, which is comparatively very easy, to provide, very easy to amend, or tomorrow very easy to eliminate as well. Means basically resend the notification as well. Resend the notification. So government has kept itself with the power of this, that tomorrow the government wants to change, it won't have to go through the hassle of changing the entire act. It can just make the amend to the circular or notification. That is the mere logic. Let's start with schedule number 3. Activities which are neither treated as supply of goods nor supply of services. So they are outside the scope of taxable event, also known as negative list. Also known as negative list. Very simple. No need to learn the paragraphs. Just understand each and every item in individuality, because these are going to be tested in the part of the ITC question. At that time the thing should click. First, service by employee to employer in the course or in relation to employment. Very obvious. Forget this. This is a question that I'm going to ask you. Service by employee to the employer. I'm working in PwC, my salary package is 25 lakh. Obviously, I'm not going to be charging GST. It will adversely impact the complete employment salary industry in India. Very absurd results will be there. Okay. So what is the condition? Employee-employer in the course or relation to his employment. So for example, I'm working in PwC, but I have my family business of laptops. My family is into the business of laptops and computers. And my company PwC purchases certain laptops from my business. Means I'm the employee, I'm selling the laptops to my company. Will that be covered here? Oh no, that is the case of actually goods. You can take some service example. Let's say laptop repair. Will that be covered under paragraph number 1? Absolutely not. It is not in relation to employment. I was employed for tax consulting services in the tax department. So don't just see employer-employee relationship. See whether that service is in the course or relation of employment as well. And will casual employees be covered here? That is, for example, Big Fours hire contractual employees, or some employees are hired for 2 months period, 3 months period. Yes, those are also covered. They will also not be under the scope of GST. They will be excluded from the definition of supply. Negative list. Negative list. Services by court or tribunal. Already taking justice in India is very expensive. Getting justice in India is already very expensive, very time consuming. Heavy lawyer fees are going to be applicable. Let's put the services by the court. Means basically you have to pay the fees to the court for a case. Those fees are not under GST. So the service of adjudication, of deciding the case, of giving you the justice by the court or any tribunal, for example GST appellate tribunal, for example income tax appellate tribunal, for example Companies Act tribunal, those are also non-supply. So any tribunal established under any law for the time being in force, and court means all the levels are included. The lowest level district court, high court, or the apex court, that is the Supreme Court. So the filing fees that you pay are not under GST. Consumer Disputes Redressal Commissions. You must have heard that, for example, you are eating somewhere and there is a bad quality product that you see, you can file a consumer complaint in these kind of commissions. They give the basically the redressal rights. They address the grievances of the consumers against the brands. So those commissions are technically not court. They are technically not the tribunal as well, but they are acting just like tribunal. They are technically not a tribunal, but they are clothed, means they are working just like the same characteristics of tribunal, clarified by our government that they will also be considered to be non-supply, no GST. Next, functions of our political figures, political posts, be it an MP, be it an MLA, be it a panchayat, local authority, be it any municipal corporation authority, all these members are not under GST. Obviously, they are not employees. It's not said that India is an employer and these are the employees. They get the remuneration that is not under GST, that is not a supply. And similarly, any constitutional post, for example, our Prime Minister or our Chief Justice of India or our, let's say, the Election Commission people or the Comptroller and Auditor General of India, all these people are holding the constitutional post in India. Their services and their remuneration is not under supply. That is not under taxable event. Very logical. These are working for our country. They are performing sovereign functions. They are performing sovereign functions, not commercial functions. Although we also know that what kind of functions are performed by most of the people in these kind of situations. But yeah, no GST for them. Okay. Then next one, understand properly clause number C. The duties performed by any person as a chairperson, member, or director in a body established by government and not deemed as an employee before commencement of this clause. What is the meaning of this? There is a body established by government. Which government? Any government, central, state, or local. Example, Central Vigilance Commission. Now it is a question of fact whether it is a body established by government or not. It is a question of fact, not a law. In that body, I am working as a member, consultant, director, any post. And I am not already deemed as employee before this clause, means in paragraph number 1, I am not already an employee, because if I am already an employee, why do you need to go to paragraph number 3, clause number C? Already para 1 will cover you as a non-supply. I am not an employee, I am working as a consultant, I am working as a member, I am working as a director, and I am getting a consulting fee, non-supply. So sir, if it is a private body and I am an employee, paragraph number 1. If it's a government body and I am an employee, paragraph number 1. If I am a member, director in a government body, not an employee, paragraph number 3. And if it is a private body, I'm working as a consultant, no paragraph applies, GST applicable. Everyone, is it clear? I've given this conclusion here. Ye samjho means understand this, okay? If any person is working as a chairperson, member, director in a body not falling under above clause, means it's a private body. And he's also not an employee. Para 1 also gone, para 3 also gone, schedule 3 will not apply, it is a supply. Is this clear? Para 1, para 2, para 3. Everyone on the same page? You're able to understand, right? Para 1, para 2, para 3. Everyone please put a confirmation message then I will move ahead. Okay, done. Paragraph number 4. Death related. Funeral, burial, crematorium, depending on what religion you follow. Mortuary services, keeping the deceased body, including the transport of deceased. Everything is outside the scope of GST. It is non-supply. Everything is non-supply. Sorry. Everything is non-supply. Land building we have already covered. Land non-supply, building non-supply subject to para 5b schedule 2 that we covered, that if it is an under construction it can be a supply, otherwise non-supply. Now my small query to you. This is a land. On which I am getting it developed. Develop means I am, let's say, putting a drainage system in place, pipelines. I am leveling it. I am tilling it. I am clearing the all the garbage. I am developing the land. And if I sell a developed land, is it still under non-supply? Yes. You sell a land or you sell a developed land, it is non-supply because land is land. Be it developed or underdeveloped or raw, it is land. This is just clarified that even if the land is developed, does not matter. It will still be covered under this paragraph and it will not be a supply. It will not be a supply. But what about charges on the development? Means the plumber comes and let's say installs this drainage system on which the GST will be applicable. Absolutely yes, sir. Development individual invoices, the GSTs will be applicable. But when I sell the land post development, that will be under paragraph number 5. You don't have to learn, just learn schedule number 3, non-supply. Okay, done. Now, with respect to actionable claims, understand what the GST position is today. Right now, till this point, what do you know about actionable claims? You know one thing, that all actionable claims are goods. That is the only thing you know. But I think, mentioned it in the yesterday's class, that I'm writing it here now, that all actionable claims are goods, but schedule number 3, non-supply, covers actionable claims, except specified actionable claims. Sir, what is the conclusion? The conclusion today stands that only specified actionable claims, only specified actionable claims are under GST. Only the specified actionable claims are under GST. Because all other actionable claims will be thrown out of the definition of supply, means from negative list, it will be put in the schedule number 3. Now, just one small question. What is specified actionable claims? 6 cases are covered. The short form to learn is High Court blog. Horse racing. So horse race that you put the money upon, that is a specified actionable claim. Casinos, bettings, any kind of bet that you take, lottery, online money gaming, and gambling. If you see, all these are sin activities. Sin activities means government views those, all these 6 activities, in a negative manner. So they want to put GST on it. This is something that we have not analyzed it in very much detail yet. It's a separately defined term, not required right now. General understanding you have, online money gaming means online games where you are putting in money. So government wants to discourage that, like the PUBG and everything that people used to play, they used to put money as well to buy whatever that was used in the game. So these are ultimately today under GST. Balance actionable claims. Balance actionable claims. Example, insurance claim. Is a goods, but it is not a supply. See, lot of times I have seen students don't have the clarity of route to the conclusion. What is the path to the conclusion? Okay, no GST, but are you able to structurally understand why no GST? That is what we have to focus, and that is where the structured thinking helps. Insurance claim is a goods. It will comply with the parameters of supply, but schedule number 3, ultimately non-supply. If someone asks, is insurance claim an exempt supply? No, because it is not a supply itself. How can it be an exempt supply? If I'm not a student, how can I be a CA student? If it's something is not a supply, how can it be an exempt supply? These kind of things are being asked in the ICI exams now. You need to have the complete understanding. Hope this is clear. I hope this is clear. So actionable claims, other than specified actionable claims, that is High Court block. Lot more analysis will come, especially for online money gaming. Now for para 7 and para 8. For para 7 and para 8, I need to cover a small concept. You might be knowing it, you might not be knowing it. So let's cover it. It comes from the customs law. But you need to have a brief understanding to understand these paragraphs. So I'm telling you what happens, a situation I'm taking. Let's say I imported certain goods from US. Okay, let's say by a vessel. Okay, and this is the Mumbai port. I am the importer. Now when the goods come, I have 2 options. Option number 1 and I have option number 2. I have option number 1 and I have an option number 2. Option number 1 is I can directly clear the goods. Clear the goods means you pay the customs duty, you get the formalities done, and you file a bill of entry for home consumption. It's a technical term, we will cover that in customs law. You file a bill of entry for home consumption. That is, you clear the goods. Or you have an option number 2, you can put the goods into the warehouse. You can put goods in warehouse. At that time, you have to sign a bond as well. Bond is just an undertaking that I will comply with the law, I will pay the duty later on, I will clear the goods later on. So you can put the goods into the warehouse. It's my choice. It's my discretion. Whenever the goods are cleared, so ultimately, when the goods are put into the warehouse, thereafter, I can go for clearance as well later on, whenever I feel like it. And whenever the goods are cleared, you will be paying the customs duty plus you will be paying the IGST. Import of goods is liable to IGST as well. Now someone may ask, sir, isn't this a double taxation? Answer is no. I will tell you why. I will tell you why. Pay attention. If I buy an item from India, let's say the rate is 18% GST. And if I buy an item from abroad, let's say the custom duty is, let's say 10%. So still there is a difference of 8%. Are you understanding this? This will somewhere or other, the local industry, the Indian seller will say that we are not able to compete with the foreign item because the foreign item is not suffering GST. Hence, IGST is imposed on the import of goods as well, somewhere or other, to maintain a parity with goods purchased from India. Now, exactly it will not be same. I'm just giving you a logic behind it that we have to keep the parity. If we don't charge the import of goods in the form of GST, somewhere or other the Indian vendor will say that we are not able to compete because here we have to charge GST. So ultimately the cost increases. So whenever the clearance happens, the duty is paid and the IGST is paid. This is just for your understanding right now. Until the goods are cleared, note this, till the goods are cleared, they are not considered as a part of India. Sir, where is it written? It's a case law based analysis. Case law, Garden Silk Mills, customs law. So till the goods are cleared, they are technically not a part of India because you have not yet cleared it. These are imported items. Now I will take you to the paragraph. Now it will be super clear. Understand. Para 7. Supply of goods from entity to another entity. What is entity? Is a non-taxable territory. Abbreviations I have given in page number 3 at the start of the book. So non-taxable territory to another non-taxable territory without the goods entering into India. Take a simple example. I have bought the goods from China and I directly sold it to a party in US. The goods did not enter into India. Technically, I am into India, the seller is in India, but it will be put under non-supply. Just condition the goods should not come into India. And this is known as a merchant trade. This is known as what? Merchant trade. So this supply of goods the supply of goods happened without the goods first coming into India. If they first come into India, you clear it, then you supply it, then it is a supply. It can be export supply, but here it is non-supply itself. So neither it is an exempt supply, it is not a zero rated supply, non-supply itself. Is this clear? Everyone, is this clear? Para 7, till paragraph number 7, I hope everyone is with me. Yes? You want 1 minute to read? You want 1 minute to quickly review the paragraphs till this? Take it. I'm giving you exactly 1 minute, okay? I'm exiting because I can show you the screen. Quickly, just review para 1, para 2 quickly. Then I will cover the balance 2-3 paragraphs. Quick. One and two done. Some of you might have a question that, sir, what about arbitral tribunal? I will cover that. I will cover the arbitral tribunal. Arbitral tribunal is not covered here. I will explain the reason in chapter number 4. I will take up this question. Arbitral tribunal is not under law. It comes from arbitration agreement between the parties. So it is not covered here. Okay. Para 3, 4, 5, do it. Yes, Vamsi, independent director, absolutely the GST is applicable provided it is not a government body. Otherwise, I will take the benefit of para C. Eva, TDR enjoys certain exemptions. TDR FSI transfers enjoy certain exemptions that will come in chapter number 2 when I will interlink the forward charge mechanism, RCM and exemption. Just give me some time for that. Transferable development right, you are talking about it. We will cover that. Okay. Do para C, para 6 is I think very simple. And 7. Then everyone, can I cover paragraph number 8 and then we will give you a break. Okay. Paragraph number 8. Let's see. And whatever scribbling I'm doing, everything is there in notes. This is just to make the concept in front of you from scratch so you're able to understand it better. Okay. So while revising at home, you can refer to these hand notes. These are being uploaded in your drive on day-to-day basis. So you can refer to the hand notes so you are able to quickly link it. That okay, we made this concept in the class together. So I'm able to quickly revise it. Okay. So paragraph number 8, what is the situation? Pay attention. I imported certain items. I imported certain goods. But I put into the warehouse. The goods are lying into the warehouse. And let's say Gayatri comes to me and says that, sir, I'm willing to buy these goods. I want it urgently. Can you sell the goods to me? I said to Gayatri, these are warehoused. Gayatri says, okay, I will get it cleared later on. It's fine. I'm ready to buy the warehouse goods. So I sell the warehouse goods to Gayatri. The sale has been conducted. The sale has been done by me to Gayatri of the warehouse goods. Do you think this is a supply? No, it is not a supply. Why? Because, sir, the goods are not yet cleared. They are lying into the warehouse. The goods are not yet cleared. They are lying in a warehouse. So how come it will be a supply? You have told that till the clearance happens, it is not considered as a part of India. Now what will happen? This is not a supply. I will just charge a sales consideration. Gayatri will go to the customs authorities and get the goods cleared. She will go to custom authorities. She will file a bill of entry for home consumption. And she will pay the IGST plus custom duty. She will do the process of clearance. She will pay the IGST. Suppose later on, I ask Gayatri to sell the goods back to me. And suppose Gayatri sells the goods back to me. This will be a supply. Because now the goods are outside the scope of customs. It is a supply. Post clearance, whatever sale happens, it is very much a supply and that will be applicable to GST, and this is known as in bond sales. Why in bond? Because these are bonded. goods. I told you I have to sign a bond when I put into the warehouse. So this is a in bond sale, that supply of warehouse goods before clearance for home consumption. Note, IGST levy at the time of final clearance will happen whosoever is clearing it. So Gayatri will finally clear the goods for home consumption, means she wants to take it outside the warehouse, so she will have to pay the GST. IGST, that is of import. And later on she sells the goods to me, normal GST under CGST, SGST or whatever the IGST is there. This is of import. Clause number AA, ICI has not prescribed it yet, but this is just like clause number A, nothing different. Supply of goods warehoused in SEZ. These are the special economic zones which enjoy certain tax benefits considered as foreign area itself. So again, the goods are warehoused in SEZ or a free trade warehousing zone. It is a type of SEZ itself. It is a specific type of SEZ. But same concept, that you are selling such goods before clearance for export or to DTA, means you have not cleared it yet. You have not taken it outside the warehouse and you are selling it. Not under GST, not under supply. Same concept as clause number A, but ICI has not prescribed this yet for your course. IC sale, same concept. The goods have not reached India yet. IC means beyond exclusive economic zone. The goods are in the sea and I sold the goods to, let's say, Eva. No GST. The goods have not yet reached India. When Eva will receive the goods, will file the bill of entry for home consumption, IGST will be paid. Then after clearance, whatever sale transaction happens, that is the supply under GST. So supply of goods by consignee. Consignee is the person who has ordered the goods, basically the importer. To any other person by endorsement of document of title, means this is the manner of sale that is happening. But after this is happening, after the goods have been dispatched from the origin port and obviously before clearance. The main point, if you see everywhere, it is clearance or not. Before clearance, not supply. Because post clearance, they are considered to be a part of our landmass of India. These two entries are tested a lot in your ITC questions, but these are very simple ones. I don't think you will face any issue. Done? Can I take a short break? Okay, let's take a short break. I will be ending the recording here. The post break recording will be new because some students had messaged that, sir, if you can make it 2 recordings, it will be easy for us. We can watch one part, take a break, and we can watch the second part. So that's fine. I can do that. Absolutely okay with me. I will stop the recording here. Take a 10 minutes break. Have some tea, coffee. And then we will see the balance paragraphs. Okay? Take a break, guys. Recording has started. Welcome back. Vamsi had asked a question that, sir, what could be the reason for differentiating the goods services other than the limit, other than the GST rate? See, main reason you have given itself. And more than that, to have a clarity that what are we supplying, goods or services? We cannot say that there is a confusion. That was one of the reasons that we had pitched at the start of the introduction, that one of the problem was double taxation. So now the government could have again said that no, this is goods as well as services, charge GST 2 times. So to have the clarity as to restaurant service, is it a goods or services? Because that was one of the problems in the prior indirect tax regime. So if that is not clarified, then again it will lead to double taxation. Is it clear? Okay, now let's proceed, guys. Paragraph number 9 and paragraph number 10, I have given printed example, but still I will make the example again in front of you to have a complete understanding of what the para 9 and para 10 says. They are in the context of an insurance industry supply. Okay, let's see. Pay attention. First, we will talk about co-insurance. Now, suppose, what is co-insurance, sir? Two insurance companies are giving a policy together, as simple as that. So, suppose there is a policy which is issued to Reliance Industries Limited, and two people are coming in together. Let's say ICICI Insurance Company and LIC. They are coming in together. LIC is going to take care of 60% risk. ICICI is going to take care of 40% risk, and they provide this insurance policy together to its client Reliance Industries Limited, for which the premium agreed is rupees 1 lakh. Now, in this co-insurance, what happens is there is a concept of a lead insurer. Sir, what is a lead insurer? You can say that lead insurer is the face of the transaction. He is the person who deals and negotiates the policy and then basically pays the balance amount to ICICI. Sir, can you give us a simple example? Okay. Let's say 5 of our friends, we are planning a small trip to Goa. So do you think all the 5 people will negotiate the bookings, airport, the flight tickets, the stay accommodations? No, sir. Generally, one will do, and he will just apportion the expense to other people. Just giving you a simple analogy. That one person deals, and the other people are then informed about their share of expenses. Here it is not expense. Here we will talk from the point of view of income. But concept is that here there will be a lead insurer. Let's say LIC is the lead insurer. LIC is the lead insurer. He is the face of the transaction. He is negotiating the contract. He is having the majority risk. So RIL is going to pay the insurance premium to LIC. Let's say that we agreed was rupees 1 lakh. Instead of 60,000 and 40,000 for administrative convenience, RIL is going to pay 1 lakh to the LIC. And what LIC will do, LIC will pay the GST on 1 lakh, that is 18,000. So basically the invoice would have been 1 lakh plus 18,000. The 18,000 GST will go to the government. Then LIC will call ICICI that your share was 40%. You will be absorbing 40% risk, and for that you will be getting 40% of the premium as well. So this is your 40,000. Now my only question to you is, see, 18,000 has gone to the government. Out of 1 lakh, 40% has been apportioned to ICICI. My only question to you is, do you think this 40,000 should be chargeable to the GST again? Do you think ICICI is the supplier and should again charge GST on 40,000 it is collecting from LIC? Does it feel right in your heart? Do you think it is a supply? Sir, supplied seems to be case. All parameters are complied. All parameters are complied. There is a supplier, there is a recipient, there is a consideration, it is a supply of service. But sir, it is a double taxation now. It will directly lead to double taxation. If RIL would have paid 60,000 to LIC and 40,000 to ICICI, then in that case the total GST would have been 18,000 only. Here, only for administrative convenience, the lead insurer has collected 1 lakh and he has paid 18,000 share to the government. Why are you making this a supply? Government agreed. Provided paragraph number 9, schedule number 3. Schedule number 3 says that this apportionment is not a supply. It is not a supply. Logic. Why do we need to see the legal part? Logic says it is not a supply. Now, let's move to the next part. Reinsurance. there was a big insurance work which was to be undertaken, a very big insurance policy which was to be issued to Reliance Industries Limited, for which HDFC Insurance Company got the contract. HDFC company won this bid, and not bid means basically it solicited Reliance Industries Limited, and it won the contract, and it has issued a policy, insurance policy, for which there is a very big premium of 10 lakh rupees. There is a very big premium of 10 lakh rupees involved. Will there be GST on 10 lakh? Absolutely yes. Normal supply. It's a GST. On 10 lakh, 1,80,000 will be the GST. But what happens? HDFC later in 2-3 days realized that it has taken a lot of risk. It is tensed. It has taken a lot of risk. Or maybe the business, they have certain business rules under which they cannot exceed a certain risk that has been exceeded. So now HDFC says that, okay, let me get this reinsured. Means basically let's transfer the risk to someone else. Some part let's transfer it to someone else. It is known as ceding. So HDFC calls up the main insurance company, LIC. HDFC says, Mr. LIC, will you help me? I want to transfer 40% risk to you. I have absorbed too much risk. Oh my God, I'm scared. Let me get transfer 40% risk to you. LIC says, okay, we are a very big company. Give us the 40% risk. Give us the 40% premium. So happily HDFC cedes, that is reinsures 40% to LIC. So LIC is the reinsurer. And HDFC is the original insurer. And RIL is the insured. RIL is the insured. Now HDFC will transfer 4 lakh to LIC. LIC will raise the invoice. Reinsurance premium you have to pay us. 40% premium needs to be paid. 40% premium needs to be paid. Will there be a GST on 4 lakh? That is my question number 1. Will there be a GST on 4 lakh? That is my question number 1. Tell me, apply your logic. Will the GST be applicable on 4 lakh? See, this is a separate transaction entered now. This is a separate transaction entered, yes or no? This was your option, you want to enter it or not. So will there be GST involved? Absolutely yes. So this will lead to double tax. No, it is not double tax. You were not originally in the same picture. Unlike co-insurance, here you entered into a separate transaction of reinsurance. So GST will be applicable on 4 lakh as well as 10 lakh. Sir, then where is the applicability of paragraph number 10 that we are talking about? It is yet to come. Now understand what will happen. HDFC was paying 4 lakh rupees to LIC. Instantly HDFC stopped. LIC said, what happened? Give me the 4 lakh now. HDFC said, wait. Now HDFC stated that to earn 10 lakh rupees, we have done certain expenses. We have incurred certain expenses as well. We have incurred certain expenses as well. No? 10 lakh was the sales amount. We have incurred expenses. Admin expenses were done. Soliciting expenses were done. A lot of expenses we have incurred to get this premium of 10 lakh. So LIC, is it not fair to, is it fair to just give 40% of the premium and 1 lakh completely we are absorbing? So LIC says, okay, to transfer the 40% of the expense to me as well, because net amount you earned is 9 lakh. So okay, you reduce this amount of expenses, share of expenses, that is 1 lakh into 40%, that is 40,000. It's fine, 3,60,000 you pay us net. And this share of expense is known as ceding commission. Technical word is ceding commission or reinsurance commission. And this 40,000, first tell me, can we say 40,000 is a supply? Can we analyze the parameters of supply? As per section 7, let's analyze. Is it a supply of service? Yes, sir, it is a supply of service. Is consideration involved? Yes, sir, 40,000 is a consideration involved. Is business test applicable? Yes, sir, it is a part of business. Who is the supplier, sir? HDFC is the supplier. And LIC is the recipient. Sir, why? Understand, this 40,000 is a earning of HDFC, na? Reduction of cash outflow is a inflow. Reduction of cash outflow is a income. So HDFC is earning 40,000. Technically, in real life, department was issuing notice for 40,000 to be a supply. But somewhere it doesn't feel right in your heart, because LIC is paying GST on 4 lakh and that 40,000 is somewhere a part of 4 lakh itself. No, this is just a net payment which is happening. If you see purely legally, this is also under GST, this should also be under GST. But to give a relief to the insurance industry, to give the relief to the reinsurance contract, government said, okay, although technically the supply, all the parameters of supply are complied with, but we will give you paragraph number 10 benefit, and we will say that this particular 40,000 is not supply, provided you pay complete GST on 4 lakh. So we are getting the GST on the reinsurance premium. We will put this under paragraph number 10. This is covered by paragraph number 10, schedule number 3. Now my last question to you guys before going to the legal reading of para 9 and para 10. In this particular reinsurance case, in this example, can you tell me the total GST involved? Can you tell me the total GST involved? How much is the total GST involved? In this case scenario, how much is the total GST involved? Absolutely correct, Gayatri. It is 2,52,000. 10 lakh into 18%. We are taking rate as 18% plus 4 lakh into 18%. Believe me, in the practice batch, when I ask these questions, people are clueless. Now, I'm not saying that we are doing this understanding, we are doing anything separate. This is the bare minimum you are expected to do. This is the bare minimum a CA final student is expected to do today, seeing what the papers are being asked. Exactly the same diagram I have given with proper examples and symbols in the book, but we framed it again in front of you, so it helps you to understand. I hope the purpose is fulfilled. Now I will give you the legal reading. Okay. Co-insurance, activity of apportionment of co-insurance premium by the lead insurer to the co-insurer for the insurance services which from the origin they were jointly supplied by the lead insurer and co-insurer. Only the lead insurer was the face of the transaction. But condition, lead insurer, that is in my case the LIC company, the condition is that it pays the GST on the entire amount of premium paid by the insured, that is 1 lakh into 18%. If tomorrow the question says, believe me, ICI can twist this part. ICI can twist this part. In real life, let's say the ICI says that LIC has paid GST on 60,000. Then this will be considered as a supply. On 40,000, ICICI will pay the GST. Sir, will ITC be available here? Yes. RIL will take the ITC of 1,80,000. HDFC will take the ITC of 4 lakh into 18%. Absolutely, ITCs will be available to the recipient. No problem at all. Okay. And reinsurance, pay attention. Service by insurer to reinsurer. Because I am talking about the ceding commission, guys. I am talking about the ceding commission. So the service by HDFC to LIC, for which ceding commission or reinsurance commission is deducted from reinsurance premium. So out of 4 lakh, 40,000 was deducted. But condition, the GST is paid by the LIC on gross reinsurance premium inclusive of the ceding commission, that is 4 lakh rupees. Absolutely, Subhash. On 4 lakh, Subhash, HDFC will get the ITC because the GST is charged on 4 lakh rupees. If someone asks you that what will be the journal entry payment, like what will be the payment amount that LIC will receive on net basis, it will be 4 lakh rupees of the premium plus 18% GST less 40,000 ceding commission. This will be the net payment that LIC will receive in the bank account, but GST will be discharged on 4 lakh rupees. Clear? Enjoyed? Absolutely, Vamsi. That's why I clarified payment is 3.6, but GST is on 4. Because 40,000 is deducted as a commercial expense. See, Vamsi, it could have been the case that LIC says that, okay, pay me 4 lakh completely and 40,000 I will pay you separately. It's just for convenience that we are netting it off now. I'm going to pay you 100 rupees, you are going to pay me 20 rupees. I will pay you 80 rupees now. So this is just a settlement happening for convenience. This is the main value of supply. Hope this is absolutely clear. Now, whenever you revise this at home, and believe me, you won't be able to do this at the end. Right now is the time on day-to-day revision basis. Make these diagrams yourself. You will get the complete clarity. Okay. Next. I will just cover till here, most probably. Then I will take you to certain questions so that one topic is completely done. So non-supply, schedule 3 we are done. Notification and circular we will cover. Okay. So notification 1 and 2 we will cover. There are 2 items and circular there is 1 item. So 3 more items. Schedule 3 we have done. Correct? Yes, it is a benefit for reinsurance contract. Litigation was also happening. That's why para 9 and para 10 were added last year. Okay. Let's see. Non-supplies which are notified via notification. Non-supplies which are notified via notification. Sir, in paper, do we need to learn that this was notification circular? Absolutely fine. If you don't do it, you can write this is not a supply. It's okay. So let's read first and then we will analyze. Service by way of any activity in relation to a function entrusted to a panchayat under Article 243G or municipality under Article 243W of Constitution. Sir, concept went like this. We did not understand anything. Wait. Panchayat municipality are the third level of government, local authorities. They are entrusted with certain functions like local cleanliness, local security, road maintenance, street light maintenance, park maintenance. Those are the functions which are entrusted to them under our constitutional articles. What are the articles? Panchayat 243G and Municipality 243W. Sir, how can we learn? We say na Panchayat G. Like in Hindi we say hello G. So we say Panchayat G. So Panchayat G and Municipality M. The opposite, if you reverse it upside down, it is W. Just for small trick to learn. So 243G and 243W, they also have to be read with the respective schedule. You don't have to learn. I'm just mentioning Schedule 11 and Schedule 12. So those activities, those functions are entrusted to them. And with respect to those functions, if any activity is carried on, for example, I may be carrying out the activity for the help of my local panchayat or my local municipality in Pune. Entirely, it is outside the scope of GST. It is non-supply. We want to keep the cost low. Because what happens, these local authorities are going to charge the people only of that state, that particular area. You have to pay water tax, you have to pay property tax for the local authority to function on day-to-day basis. So ultimately, we want to ensure the GST is not there because the cost will increase for the people of India. So anyone conducting any activity with respect to, just ensure that link is with these functions, non-supply. Clear? Next, alcoholic liquor. Sir, alcoholic liquor is outside the scope of GST. The raw material is outside the scope of GST, undenatured ENA. Now we talk about alcoholic liquor license. That is also completely handled by the state government. State government said that, sir, this also we don't want to enter into GST. We earn very good revenue from the sale of licenses under the earlier taxes itself. So please no GST here itself. Because ultimately, the complete business with respect to alcoholic liquor is outside the scope of GST. To sell the alcoholic liquor, the person will buy the license. That also not a supply. So when we say no GST, reason should be clear. Alcoholic liquor, it is a non-taxable supply. License, it is a non-supply provided by notification. So reason for no GST should be clear. This is notified in the notification. Undenatured extra neutral alcohol provided in the charging section. Clear? So the grant of the license by state government against consideration. So whenever I ask for the license, I have to pay a consideration, and you have absolutely no idea what amount of considerations these are charged. In Haryana, Gurgaon, there is this culture of drinking. You might be knowing it. There was one license which was auctioned last year, 2025, in one of the very posh localities, Golf Course Road, where properties are also like 10 CR, 20 CR. The license went for 98 CR for 2 years. 100 CR someone paid just to take the license because he knows that sale will be much more than that. So that is non-supply. Notification is clear? Yes? Okay. Just do one thing. 1 minute, para 9 and para 10, and these two. Read it. Generally, I give some reading time when we approach the end of the classes because you have already done concepts for 2 hours. Okay, do it. Quickly, para 9 and para 10. And no, you don't have to learn the exact wording, like word by word. We are not supposed to analyze or learn this. Analysis obviously we have done, but you don't need to learn it. But you need to ensure that you are able to present this answer. That okay, the co insurance premium, when that is apportioned, that is not a supply by anyone. Provided lead insurer has paid the GST on the total amount. You can write it like this. Numerical if it comes, MCQ if it comes, the figures you should have a complete grip upon it, that what transaction is being taking place. That much you have to do. Okay? Para 9 and 10 done. Do this. Example you can review at home. It is the same example, just in a better, colorful format. Do this particular part, review. Then can I go ahead? Okay. Last point, circular. Circular came because of a very specific situation that was emerging in the market. Sir, function entrusted to Panchayat means function entrusted by the government. Vamsi, function entrusted by the constitution itself. 243G, 243W. Constitution has entrusted the function. Okay. So forget notification, circular, don't learn. Just third non-supply we are covering. A specific situation came, which I will first put it into a diagram. Because unless and until you understand the problem, you won't understand why the circular came. Okay. So let's first understand the problem. There is a company A Limited. It has a unit in Delhi. And the same company has a unit in Mumbai, Maharashtra. It is registered. This is registered. One fine day, what happens? The Delhi unit sends certain stock through a conveyance. So there is a small truck which is loaded, in which there is certain stock. And this is the conveyance. First understand what is happening. The conveyance is being sent, which contains the stock of the company, from A Limited Delhi unit to A Limited Maharashtra unit. So the interstate movement is happening. So the interstate movement is happening. This much I have told you. Now I will ask certain follow-up questions. Question number 1. Is this a case of distinct person? Are these distinct persons? Are they distinct persons? Yes. 25(4), both are registered. Separate GSTIN. It has its own GSTIN. It has its own GSTIN. Question number 2. Is conveyance, I'm talking about conveyance, okay, right now. Is conveyance a goods? Is conveyance a goods? Yes, sir. It is a movable property. It is absolutely a goods. Is there any consideration charged for conveyance per se? No. I am telling you this. No consideration charged for conveyance movement. Now my question number 3, do you think paragraph number 1, schedule number 1, paragraph number 2, supply of goods services in the course or nature of business, it is a business, it is a business of the company, the conveyance is also the business asset. I'm not talking about paragraph number 1, this is not a permanent disposal. I'm saying, can we technically apply schedule number 1, paragraph number 2? Are the conditions of schedule number 1, paragraph number 2 applicable here? Is it a goods? It is a distinct person? Is it a part of business? Everything the answer is coming as yes. Everything the answer is coming as yes. Do you agree? All the parameters of paragraph number 2, schedule number 1 are fulfilled here. All the parameters are fulfilled. So this becomes a deemed supply. The government came, the department came, the officer charged GST on the transfer of conveyance, on the movement of conveyance. It said that you are supplying the conveyance. But does it feel right here? Does it feel right here? No, sir. Why are you charging GST on the conveyance movement? Doesn't feel right. Circular came. Circular came. That we know that conveyance is sometimes moved for the purpose of transport of goods or passengers. Sometimes there are your employees which are being transported from here to there. Or sometimes what happens is the conveyance is moved for the purpose of repairs, maintenance. Meaning which, that the truck will move from Delhi to Mumbai, and in Mumbai there is certain repair maintenance that is going to happen in nearby workshop. So for these reasons, sometimes the conveyance is transferred. In such case, this conveyance transfer will not be considered to be a supply. This conveyance transfer, ideally yes, but we will get the circular benefit. We will get the circular benefit. It will be non-supply. Sir, one follow-up question. You are stating this as interstate, but it may be possible that the company is registered in Delhi and another unit is registered in Delhi. Then technically the circular is not giving that situation, but the same will apply in intrastate movement also. In real life, this circular can apply in intrastate movement also because concept is same. Circular came in the backdrop of interstate movement because that was happening in practical life, and to solve that situation, the circular came. But this can apply in intrastate as well. Absolutely fine, no worries. Yes, I'm coming to that, Gayatri. Absolutely correct question. Sir, what about the stock? No, no, no. Here the stock will be considered as deemed supply. This is where I'm coming next. This will be considered as a deemed supply. Paragraph number 2, schedule number 1. Paragraph number 2, schedule number 1. And the last point, then I will give you time. We will see the circular. I've covered each and everything. Last point. That, sir, the circular says that if you are transferring this conveyance for further supply, means from Mumbai office you are going to sell it further, then this will also be a deemed supply. We will not give you the benefit of circular. We will not give you the benefit of circular. Because further then you are going to earn the amount, it will be a supply. Let this be also supply. This unit will get the ITC, it will charge the GST, it will set off. Let that happen. Done. Done. Exactly what I have covered. Everything mentioned as it is. To be very honest, here it is given in a better manner, in my opinion. Question form we have analyzed. Okay. Conveyance can be anything. train, bus, truck, vessel, anything carrying goods, carrying passenger for repair maintenance, no GST, means IGST, because the circular has talked in context of interstate movement. But you can mention a note here that same will apply for intrastate movement. Except means this benefit will not be applicable where the movement is for further supply of the same conveyance. So if you are selling it further, then this will also be a supply. Just to clarify, whatever repair maintenance happens, whatever the further expense, that is going to be under GST. That mechanic or workshop is going to apply GST on it. And the same circular will apply to the interstate movement of rig, tools, spares, or goods on wheels such as cranes. So instead of conveyance, a crane is being transferred, or some spare items are transferred. Spare items are not stock. What is stock? It will depend on what my business is. That is my business asset. I'm not talking about stock here. I'm talking about all other spare items, tools items, conveyance items. These will be covered under the benefit of circular. Stock will be very much under the GST. And for this, there is a question covered in chapter number 6. Again, I will revisit this circular. This will be more better clear in that chapter. I cannot go to that question right now. We won't be able to handle it. Subhash, suppose vehicle got repaired and we have transferred our goods in another vehicle. So that another vehicle will also have this benefit. Because again, that other vehicle is carrying your goods, no? So other vehicle you will have that benefit. It's not necessary that same vehicle then again has to come back and whatever. That is fine. You can keep it there. Focus is on this transfer. There will be no deemed supply. 30 seconds. Just review this circular. Just read it. I'm here only. Read it. Okay. I hope this is done. Okay. Let's see a couple of questions now. Question number 2. Dilasa Limited recruited Miss Chaya as a senior relationship manager. At the time of joining as a senior manager, the company paid 3 lakh rupees for not joining another company, Milan Limited, which is a stiff competitor of the company Dilasa Limited. Is this a supply? Will we apply schedule number 3, paragraph number 1? No, we will not apply. Why? Employer-employee relationship is there, but this is not in the course of employment. When I'm joining a company, PwC, let's say, I'm agreeing to work for the company for which I'm going to get the salary. Over and above, the company says that you will not join EY for next 4 years. We will pay you additional amount. This is something apart from the employment I'm charging. This is my right to leave the company and join another company that I'm forfeiting. So not doing something is a supply. This is covered in paragraph number 5E that I have left yet. But logically, you know that not doing something can also be an act. So I'm agreeing non-compete. Non-compete can be consideration itself. It can be supply also. Guys, not doing something can be consideration also. Not doing something can be supply also, for which I'm getting paid an amount. So this will not be covered under schedule 3, part number 1, paragraph number 1. So simple language you have to write. that this is not in the course of employment, hence it amounts to supply. This we had done yesterday. Have we done question 3 and question 4, guys? Why is there no marking here? Have we done question 3 and question 4? Question 3 we did yesterday. Question 3 we did, right? Can somebody confirm? Question 3 we did yesterday, in my opinion. Question 4 I think we have not done. Question 3 and 4, can you confirm? Okay, so let's do question number 4. This was done in the class, I remember. Question 4, let's do it. 3 did. Okay, let's do question number 4, guys. Chandragupta Maurya is an artist who makes contemporary paintings. He is registered in the state of Kolkata. Chandragupta Maurya appoints Dhruv Kumar to auction his painting in Maharashtra, and Dhruv Kumar arranges for the auction and identifies the potential bidders. Highest bid is accepted and painting is sold to the highest bidder. The invoice is issued by Dhruv Kumar on behalf of Chandragupta Maurya but in his own name, and painting is delivered to the successful bidder. Examine whether Dhruv Kumar can be considered as an agent of Chandragupta Maurya under paragraph number 3, schedule number 1. Under paragraph 3, schedule number 1 means apply the invoice test. Apply the invoice test. Simple. Check. Maurya is an artist. And Kumar, Dhruv, is an agent. Simple analysis. Sir, auctioneer is an agent? Yes. We covered the definition of agent. I specifically had mentioned one word, auctioneer. So auctioneer is an agent. So just see, this further invoice is issued in the name of whom? Only that thing I have to focus, balance everything, how you are doing the transaction, what is the exhibition, I don't care. Just see, in his own name. So invoice test is passed. This becomes a supply. This also has to become a supply. In your own words, you will write that what is the legal provision? First, that consideration. See, now before mentioning schedule number 1, one line we have to mention that consideration is one of the parameters of supply. This is how slowly you will run answer writing. Okay, not a very big rocket science. It's a very simple analysis. That before going to schedule number 1, you will write that for supply, it should involve a consideration. But schedule 1 provides for deemed supply without consideration. Paragraph number 3, invoice test with respect to agent. If invoice issued in own name, it falls under the ambit of paragraph number 3. Current case, you will write the small analysis. Conclusion, Dhruv Kumar can be considered as an agent of Maurya. Let me assure you, in exam, sometimes people are not able to write in this much detail, but basic invoice test, if you write, conclusion you quote it correctly, out of 4 marks, you will get 3. So don't worry about answer writing. Right now, focus whether you are able to catch the conclusion correctly, whether you are able to analyze it correctly or not. Before the test, I will show you an answer copy. Please do not worry for that part. Clear? Question number 7. Krishnadev is a trader based in India. Ramakrishna, the brother of Krishnadev, is located in China, also engaged in business of trading of goods. Krishnadev places an order with Ramakrishna for procuring the goods from local market in China. Before the shipment from China to India, Krishnadev sold the goods to Cristiano, a trader in Brazil, and the goods were shipped from China to Brazil. It did not come into India. Is it a supply between Krishnadev to Cristiano? Is this a supply under GST? Clearly, we covered merchant trade. This is merchant trade. What was the keyword in merchant trade? The goods did not come into India. The goods did not come into India. Without entering into India, one non-taxable territory to another non-taxable territory. Obviously, these keywords should be present in your answer, should be underlined, hence ultimately not a supply. Then Question number 8 and question number 9, please write as homework. Tomorrow question 9 I will be analyzing at the start of the class just to ensure you have done it correctly. But question 8 and question 9, please mark as the homework for today. Question 8 and question 9, homework. Now what all things we did today, I will try to just sum up what all things we did. Not the detailed revision that we will do tomorrow, but just what all things we covered. We discussed the concept of DCA. DCA is an agent with a guarantee. So what about the interest on loan if the buyer defaults? That will depend whether the invoice test is passed or not. Whether DCA will be a agent under paragraph number 3, the same invoice test you apply, no change whatsoever. Okay, and depending upon invoice test is passed or not, that interest can be either independent analysis or part of the supply. Independent analysis, ultimately it will be exempt from GST. Then we talked about schedule number 2, that is basically goods or services. The most important was the building part. If 100% consideration is received after earlier of 2 dates, completion or first occupation, means you are buying a completed property, it is not a supply. Works contract, restaurant, software, all the debatable points are clearly clarified as supply of only services under GST. Non-supplies under GST comes by 3 things, schedule number 3, circular and notification. Notification provides 2 items, alcoholic liquor license, which is supplied by the state government. So state government is the supplier, I am the recipient, but we have put it under non-supply. And activities with respect to function entrusted to Panchayat and municipality. Panchayat 243G, Panchayat G, municipality W. Circular, interstate movement of conveyance. Schedule 3, 10 paragraphs. Employee, employer, court, constitutional authorities, members of the government, death related, land, building, actionable claims apart from specified actionable claims, merchant trade, inbound sales. These are covered along with para 910, that is co-insurance and reinsurance we covered. This I will do it tomorrow at the start, just to give you the brief of what is section number 7. If you want, you can read it before coming to class. And tomorrow we will start with section number 8 discussion and some analysis. Mostly tomorrow the supply should be summed up. Questions we will see, but mostly the concepts will be done by tomorrow. Tell me everyone, you are okay with the speed and understanding? Speed is okay, understanding you are getting while revising? Are you able to recall all the concepts we are doing in the class? While revision, the concepts are smooth, right? Speed is comfortable. Okay, speed is clear. Completely fine. Perfect. Okay. So this is how we will conduct all the classes. Some people were asking that, sir, what is the plan for live? How many lectures you will be able to conduct live? Because originally, as I had planned I had committed the recorded lectures. So what I will be doing is till approx 5th to 6th July, where majority GST will be done, I will try to do all the lectures live. Later on, maybe I will go for the recorded as I had planned originally, because my original plan and the further batches were planned accordingly. But whatever maximum at that time, also if I'm able to keep it live, I will do it live. I will ask you that can we reduce the time of class to maybe 1.5 hours and continue live, just to ensure that live are conducted. Can I keep it in noon and take 1.5 hours live every day, comparatively invest some more time? That we will discuss. Okay, that we will discuss, and then we will take a call. Recorded students won't be impacted, but for live students, okay, so that we will do it, don't worry. And just one request again, please ensure you let your friends know if you're enjoying the concepts. Okay, I really want our batch size should increase. If we can touch a good number and more people can start sitting live, it will be a good experience for everyone. Okay, just ensure you let your friends know, your group know, wherever you meet your CA fellow students. Okay, that would mean a lot to me. Okay, so this is done for the day. Bye bye guys, take care. Have a good day tomorrow. Let's meet at 6 p.m. same time tomorrow.